You are welcome to Business Garage today, and I am your host today, Sharon Tumsime, and we are coming to you from Nalia, from Worship Harvest Ministries at Nalia, and we are excited that you could join us on this episode of Business Garage. Business Garage is part of Worship Harvest Ministries under the Business Leaders Network, where we resource kingdom men and women to go out and have dominion in the marketplace, all for the glory of God. That is what we do, to the glory of God the Father. So that's what we do at Business Garage. But BLN is the business community in Worship Harvest Ministries, and under it we have Business Garage. We have the coaching program where we have as well, we have the community where we meet every week, every day of the week, to learn and to grow together. So if you're looking for a business community to belong to, Business Leaders Network is available for you. And so this is brought to you by Worship Harvest Ministries under the Business Leaders Network. And you're welcome to today's episode of Business Garage. And the conversation is about coffee. The conversation is about coffee. And if you're a lover of coffee, you're curious about coffee, have been looking at coffee, wondering why we still grow coffee, whatever it is that you're wondering about coffee in Uganda and the world over, today's conversation is round about that. But don't say that I'm not a coffee person, I won't benefit. Today's conversation will definitely benefit you as long as you are a Ugandan and you are passionate about transforming your nation. This conversation is definitely going to be beneficial for you. So do what we like to do here at Business Garage. Share that link. Share the link with your relatives, your friends, your in-laws, your church members, MC members, colleagues at work, so that they do not miss this conversation. Share the link on your status. We would like everybody to benefit from today's conversation. And it is great to have you this day. And if you have anything to share with us, any good things that happened during the week, even as we get into that conversation, do let us know what the Lord has done in your business. We would like to share in your joy, even as we continue on today's episode of Business Garage. And today's episode, like I mentioned, is about coffee. We are still continuing our conversation around national transformation. And today, the conversation is around agriculture, and that is specifically the crop of coffee. So for those that remember, if you've not been paying attention and you are younger, remember when we talked about cash crops? Yes, coffee was a cash crop. Yeah, they would ask you the 4 cash crops in Uganda, and coffee was always one of those. So if there was anything, I hope you didn't waste your school fees. You can remember that coffee was among the cash crops. So today we are going to find out, is it even still a cash crop? Is it still called cash crops? All that will be happening today. So if you have any questions, you can post them in the chat just to keep us going and engaged. If you've been curious and wondering if you want to join farming, they say in Uganda that the hoe doesn't lie. Yeah, I don't know if the coffee producers use hoes. We shall find out, the ones we are talking to today. But yes, if you're curious about agriculture, really, this conversation will definitely benefit you, even if it's not about coffee. So today we are privileged to listen to amazing people. One of them is part of government. So today we have someone from government, from the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry, and we are glad that they could join us. He's an established agriculturalist. Yes, you can be. So if though you are backyard gardeners, you're not the one we are talking about. This one is an agriculturalist, yes? And he's also an agronomist, the one that we have today. He's certified, verified and certified, yes? And he is an expert on the conversation that we are going to hear him have with us today. And he works in the Ministry of Agriculture, but before that, he worked with Uganda Coffee Development Authority as a regional coffee development manager, southwestern Uganda. He has extensive knowledge in the education sector. And right now, he's an assistant commissioner in charge of coffee production at the ministry. I think most people call it MAIF. Yes, that is where he is in charge of coffee production. So welcome with me in a very special way, a great gentleman, Ruben Keimusia. You're welcome, Ruben. Yes, it is so good to have you today at Worship Harvest on Business Garage. So if you could just unmute and just tell the audience, greet us, really.
Greetings, viewers, and greetings to Worship Harvest team. I'm glad to be here.
All right. We are glad that you could join us today on Business Garage. And we always like to give you an opportunity to say hello to those people that know you, those people that love you, and the people that you love and care about, but generally to give you an opportunity to send greetings. Yes, it's always a thing here. So, Ruben, please do send some greetings.
Okay, thank you so much. Viewers, colleagues, farmers, uh, you're welcome to this show. And before I go any further, I think I should commend Worship Harvest, especially this business garage. Really, this is transforming lives beyond, really, and I wish that everyone outside there, countryside, in the cities, you could always follow up and tune into this program so that you can learn a few things there. Here and
thank you.
So I greet my farmers. Now this year we have a theme of transforming women, and especially now my greetings go to women coffee farmers who toil day and night to bring coffee to the table, to harvest, to plant, to do everything, and also to empower the nation, to empower the young generation with school fees and all that. So I send greetings out to you, and I really thank you for coming to join us in this conversation.
Wow, thank you very much, Ruben. And thank you very much for loving the women farmers. The theme today is about transforming. This year, you guys are transforming the lives, especially of women. That is very good. Thank you very, very much. And we are privileged. You're lucky, Ruben, you're in good company. There's a woman today on the panel that is into coffee farming as well. So your target market is here with you today. So we have an extraordinary woman, and she is into coffee farming. She's a founder of a farm that now, is a fully fledged business. It's an award-winning farm. Yeah, it's an award-winning farm, and they practice tourism as well. Yeah, agro-tourism in addition to everything else that she does. This lady has a master's in performing arts as well as drama, but here she is a coffee farmer. Yes, now here she is as a coffee farmer. She has also worked in the Ministry of Health. She's been involved in the health sector in a big way, and she's a serial entrepreneur. She's done many businesses. Yeah, she's even been a money lender at some point in her life. But right now, she's a passionate coffee farmer. Yes, she's a wife. She's a mother. She's a swimmer also. Yeah, she's a swimmer. She's a master's swimmer. Yeah, so she could have represented us at the Olympics, but here she is. I'm sure she was at the farm when they happened. But welcome with me in a very special way, Madam Buhura Shakira Monica, the founder of Mugamba Coffee Farm Limited that was established a couple of years ago. She will tell us, and they practice intercrop farming. Guys, I feel very knowledgeable today on this show, but allow me not to, just spoil and even mess up things. So I'm just going to give her an opportunity. So you're most welcome, Shakira. Welcome to Business Garage this morning.
Thank you very much, Sharon. I'm more than privileged to be here. Thank you for such a great introduction. I am honored to be part of this business garage.
Greetings.
And also privileged to be here with one of the biggest experts in coffee, agriculture, in coffee, as in agriculture. I am honored to be invited by Worship Harvest. I did not know that I would also land here. I've been following up whatever you do, the great work you do at Worship Harvest, and I'm really happy to be here.
Yes, it is so good to have you here. And I would like to officially report that she comes to pray with us at Worship Harvest Nakawa. Yeah, I had to just slip that in. Yes, so Shakira, do send greetings as well to your fans. Maybe you're also going to send to other farmers. I don't know. Today I'm really in waters that I don't understand. But please, do send greetings.
Oh, thank you. I would first and foremost want to send greetings to our farmers, our team in Fort Portal, Mugamba Farm, Harugongo. We really are privileged to be here to represent you, the great team at Mugamba Farm, the great work you do, our farmers, the intercroppers, the community, the team headed by our MD, our managing director, Mr. Godfrey Kaganda, our manager at the farm. lately, the last time I was at the farm is looks great.
Wow.
Because of the work that we are combined. We are combined community with women, the youth, and yeah, we really privileged I'm privileged to be here to represent you all the way from Mugamba Farm and the farmers that we work with. Thank you so much. I would also want to send out greetings to a great team in Kampala, where we do our sales, our value addition, our clients. We are here because of you. The people enjoying Mugamba coffee. We are really happy, and thank you so much for all the support that you give us.
Wow, amazing. I like that you've really celebrated the team that is the reason why the business is thriving. What an amazing founder that you are. So, today's conversation, we are really talking about the blessing in coffee. How coffee has been such a blessing to so many people and transformed lives. But to the extent we're going to go into national transformation and how we can get coffee to take people to the next level. Really the gold that is in coffee for a Ugandan and how it can transform lives. And so we're going to hear Shakira's story. She's going to share how her life has transformed and the community around her. But we would like to start with Ruben, because like I said, we've been talking about national transformation. So it's really good to have you to tell us more about coffee. So for that person who has been just hearing coffee and moving on and not bothered and just enjoying their tea, today you have an opportunity, Ruben, to just tell us about coffee. Some statistics. How is coffee performing? Ugandan coffee. Has the production increased? Have we met our targets as a nation? What are some of those things we need to know? We are hearing the prices are surging. There's a price surge. All the coffee people are happy. What is it going to do to us, the consumers, us who like coffee? Are we in trouble? You know, that is what we'd like to hear from you. First things first, yes. Just to educate us a little bit about coffee. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Coffee, as you started in the beginning, is a Ugandan cash crop. And we have really not moved far from that. Now, coffee, Uganda, beginning with Uganda. Uganda is the first African, is the number one in Africa in terms of volumes, is the number one coffee exporter in Africa.
Wow.
So that puts us on the world map. Yes, we are the second largest producer in Africa, but we are the first exporter. So Ethiopia grows more coffee, but they consume more of their coffee than us. And coffee is grown by now 3 million Ugandans, but it touches the lives of 12 million Ugandans across the value chain. So the farmers, currently we used to have 1.8, but we did a recent farmer registration exercise, and we are finding that we are actually about 3 million Ugandans growing coffee. And the people who are transformed by coffee in the economy are 12 millions. That is from people who do the farming, who do the harvesting, transportation, processors, exporters, and that. So really, something that touches 12 million Ugandans, you need to be concerned.
Yes.
Coffee is the most traded commodity worldwide, second most traded commodity after oil. So it means that with coffee, you cannot go wrong. Whether you grow it, whether you trade in it, whether you process it, there will be always value and money in coffee.
Yes.
Because worldwide, the GDP always is always growing at different rates. And statistics show that with the growing of GDP, as GDP grows, also the demand for coffee. Most people tend to shift from consuming other beverages to consuming coffee when they tend to have money in their pocket, when they become richer. So as GDP grows, we are seeing coffee, worldwide coffee demand growing at 6%, but the world production not growing. It's growing, but it's growing behind the demand. So it means that for a farmer, for a producer, for a processor, for a trader, there is always going to be market for coffee, especially for countries like Uganda, where our coffee is of very good quality, and it is demanded worldwide by so many countries in the world. So in terms of production, the last financial year, we were able to export close to 8 million bags. And remember, coffee used to stagnate at 3 to 3.5 million
Yes.
bags. So we have shifted as a country
It's been an
to
increase.
produce up to 8 million
Wow,
bags
amazing.
of coffee.
Yeah.
And we have crossed a billion mark. Last financial year, we crossed a billion mark. We were able to earn 1.04 billion US dollars from coffee exports. And currently, we have increased this to 1.5. So a crop that earns $1.5 billion. Actually, if you turn it into shillings, you'll see
Yes.
that's about 5.5 trillion. So it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's a crop, it's a cash crop, it's a beverage, it's a trade commodity. So coffee is everywhere. And I really, before I break, I would like to encourage each and every Ugandan who is there. If you have land, even if it is 50 by 50, you can just put your 6 trees, because now we look at productivity per tree, not even per acreage, because each tree, statistically, we have found out that if you have 225 trees,
Yes.
you can educate a child at any level of education. 225 trees, that's half an acre
Yes.
if you are doing Robusta, and probably less than half an acre if you are doing Arabica coffee. Yes, just 225 trees
Are enough for you to.
Yes, are enough for you to educate a child. So I always tell my farmers, actually, whenever you produce a child, you go and plant 225
Trees.
trees. And if you see that your land is
It's not
cannot,
sufficient.
yes, you can no longer you can no longer expand by 225 trees. Yeah, then you can say, yeah, enough.
Now these are enough children. What a measure.
Yes.
Okay.
So coffee is really amazing. And now as a country, we are seeing a shift, because the biggest proportion of the money used to come to farmers, but we are seeing more people coming into value addition now.
Yes.
Yes, because we have shifted. In 2017, we were having about 2% of Ugandan coffee
Yes.
being exported as value-added coffee, but now it's 8 to 10% of Ugandan coffee, which is
Yes.
really surprising and amazing. And that's the reason why our incomes have risen from below 1 billion mark, just in about 2-3 years, to $1.5 billion mark. So that is really, really commendable.
Yes. Amazing. Amazing. And just for the viewers, because some people are listening to this coffee conversation for the very first time in their lives. You mentioned Arabica, Robusta. Just quickly, just educate the people that are listening. What is the difference? What are those? Yes.
Thank you so much. They used to say in primary that there are 3 types of coffee. So I want to first demystify that actually they used to say Arabica, Robusta, and if you remember, they used to say something like Corono. Actually, Corono is not a type of coffee.
Oh.
Yes, actually, in those primary books, they should remove
They
it.
should
Yes, in Uganda, actually, we have about 4 types.
Okay.
But the commercial ones are 2, and that is Robusta and Arabica. Robusta coffee is grown in areas which are at lower altitude, the lowland areas.
Yes.
And this forms most of the parts of the country. Buganda, part of western Uganda, Ankole area, then the Cattle Corridor, northern Uganda, part of eastern Uganda apart from Mount Elgon, and all the areas that are at a low altitude, specifically below 1,500 meters above sea level.
Okay.
And in areas which are warmer. So if you are in areas which are warmer, your variety is Robusta.
Okay.
Then for areas which are cooler and at a very high altitude, above 1,500, for you grow a type of coffee called Arabica. Arabica is not native to Uganda. It was brought from Ethiopia, but it is very sweet, very good, and the prices tend to be higher.
Yes.
So they call it Nasalanda sometimes. But Robusta is native to Uganda.
Okay.
Yes, Robusta is native to Uganda. Even in the forests of Kibale, when you go there, you can find Robusta.
Yes.
So you can just stem it and grow it here.
Yeah.
And as the ministry and through the research, Naru and Nakori, Robusta has been improved. There's the traditional Ngandas, then we came to the old crones, and now most people hear about the KRs, or the new Robusta lines, the new Robusta varieties, which are high yielding and early maturing, and actually resistant to coffee wilt disease. So those ones are the latest. I know most of the farmers are now embracing growing them, and actually I can assure you that they are the best varieties currently available.
Yes.
And for everyone wanting to grow coffee, especially in Robusta areas, actually we encourage you to grow those KR lines. They are very, very good.
Amazing.
Yes.
I think all of you that are tuned in, I think you have learned about the types of coffee and the two commercial ones. Don't say I didn't do anything for you on this show. Yeah, at least you have learned that. If you're going to leave this show, at least you will know the difference between Arabica and Robusta, the commercial ones, and to know that. So Shakira, over to you. As a coffee farmer, we read your bio, you did drama and I don't know what, but here you are, a coffee farmer. Did you drink so much coffee, then you're like, I must grow this crop? How did you get into coffee production? Farming, really, yes.
Thank you very much, Sharon. What I would say is, I think it was a passion with my partner, Mr. Godfrey Kaganda. We started by buying land, and we had to sell off some of our things and decided to move to the village and buy land. So the story started from buying a chunk of land and started planting trees, eucalyptus trees. That was 2014. Then, we're looking at, indeed, as they say, school fees.
School fees.
School
You
fees.
were looking for school fees. Okay.
Yeah, school fees.
Yes.
So we're looking at having our children in better schools, better universities, and so we decided to move to that journey.
Yes.
So we started with trees, and the trees were really very disappointing. Did matoke. Then suddenly something happened in 2017. We thought about coffee. And that time, UCDA, Operation Wealth Creation, was rolling out free seedlings. But we made a very big mistake. Okay, and this should go out to many farmers.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say most of us farmers do very many mistakes. So at the beginning, but it's always a learning process. So we did, as he mentioned, we were excited about the coffee. We didn't know much about it. We decided to go and buy Robusta all the way from Wakiso. So you can imagine us in Fort Portal driving all the way to Wakiso to buy what we were talking about. We just moved to someone's farm, we were encouraged. We came and bought Robusta. That time it was really hot. I remember 2017. What they say, the chair. When there's a chair. So 2017, we planted we started with like 1,000. Got a man from Masaka. We told him, expert, you're the expert, come and plant coffee. And nothing ever showed up. Not even a seed. We waited for a full year. Nothing ever showed up. We watered the coffee using bottles. We're ferrying water with not even buckets, jerry cans, and using water bottles to
water each of these.
To water each seedling, and nothing came up. So one day, Godfrey said, you know what? Let me move to UCDA. We're like, let's move to UCDA offices and come and show them that, guys, we are here. We have planted very nice coffee. We've spent a lot of money. Nothing came out. And they just realized that we had to plant Arabica coffee. So we moved to that. UCDA, Operation Wealth Creation, gave us free seedlings. And that was the beginning of our story. Every time anyone comes to the farm and asks, how did you do this? With the coffee prices going up, we have no answer. We just started the journey.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was also passion. So that's how our story began.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. What a story. Yes, and it is good that you didn't give up, you know. That is business. Sometimes things are tough. You meet some crazy mountains along the way that you have to go over. And we thank God that you didn't give up. You persisted, and here we are. The story is quite different. So over to you, Ruben. You've heard her story. What happened to her? You know, they were passionate, and they absolutely backfired the first time. How does the government come in to address certain things like those? Because there are people that are passionate, but they've been banned. What do they do? Is this information available? Where do I go if I want to start business? Of course, rather to start a coffee farm. She has said, don't buy, you've told us Robusta, Arabica. I might think I'm somewhere, then I do the wrong one. Basically, where does the government come in this process? Yes, for that person that's starting. What's your responsibility as government in such scenarios?
Thank you very much. Yes, really, I'm very sorry about that beginning.
Yes.
But really, the government has created an enabling environment.
Yeah.
Which the Ministry of Agriculture as the lead government institution responsible for the agriculture sector, where coffee falls. Coffee, and by the way, also we overlook cocoa these days, but we ensure that the farmer is served from where he is.
Okay.
Like currently, we have what we call regional coffee extension officers specialized in each and every district.
Yes.
And each and every region of Uganda. In Karamoja, that's where we are trying to go. But apart from other areas which are coffee growing, we are in 126 districts, and we have a staff in each of those districts.
Yes.
Now, that staff is responsible to receive farmers, guide them through the process. Then we also now certify nurseries in areas. Yes, we certify, we regulate seed systems. So we certify nurseries to be located in areas where a kind of coffee grows. For example, if you are in Aragon, if you are in Mbare,
okay,
you should have a nursery of Arabica coffee, because the farmer will not know. He will come and see if you have Robusta, maybe a UCDA person or a sub-county agriculture officer is not there to tell you. Someone will go buy and plant. And coffee will take a minimum 2 years to bear fruit. And remember, you are watering, you're weeding, you're incurring costs.
Yeah.
So at that time, when a farmer realizes that he did the wrong thing in the beginning, they always get demoralized. So that's why we put a regulation on the coffee seed system down in the planting materials, and also we come and regulate trade and quality. So when we regulate those two areas, first at the seed system is to protect the farmer to buy the right thing, the right material. And we scrutinize and give the planting materials to these nurseries. So these nurseries, their role is to multiply so that they can possibly sell to the farmers, or maybe when government has money, sell to the government for the government to give to the people, but to give them genuine planting materials. And we give them certificates. As a ministry, we give them certificates to show that this is a genuine nursery. And for farmers out there who are beginners, when you want to go and buy seedlings, make sure that that person shows you a registered certificate of nursery operation, and it is showing the exact location where you are buying. So that protects the farmers.
Okay.
Yes. And then when a government has an intervention of providing seedlings, they always distribute what is appropriate to grow in that certain area.
Yes.
Yes. So the government is so protective. And we have now extension services right from the sub-counties, because it is single, we call it single spine extension. There is an extension worker, an extension officer at the sub-county. Then there is an expert, subject matter specialist at the district, where you will find a cocoa person, maybe a district agriculture officer, a fisheries officer. So the government system really of providing extension services, not only for coffee, but for all enterprises, these services are available, right from the sub-counties upwards.
Yes.
Yes.
So there's a system in place to avoid things like this happening.
Yes,
So
yes.
you need to just go to your sub-county. There is definitely someone. So for those of you that are listening and are interested, you have a place to start. You have a place to start so that the mistakes that are made can be avoided if you can. Do go and do the research and get expert advice from the experts on the subject matter so that you can enjoy your time as a farmer, as a farmer of coffee. So, Ruben, you mentioned something about value addition. Earlier when you were talking about how coffee has evolved over the years and how much more people are producing more than just the coffee seed, but now doing value addition. If you can just speak into that. What is this whole value addition? What does it mean to add value? Yes.
Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me a platform on that. Value addition. Now, when you come to coffee, you need to focus on coffee and leave other crops and other enterprises. So in the coffee, value addition is in threefold. And I want people to understand it clearly here. Value addition is meaning getting more for what you have. You have added value. If I have this bottle of water, they say there's 1,000. If I can maybe rebrand it, maybe change the top, and they give me 2,000, that is value addition. Now, in a coffee, value addition starts from the farm. Actually, at planting. You had me telling people about the KLRs. Maybe it will be a topic of different of another time. So it starts from the coffee you plant. Because we can plant coffee in the same day, the same area, we give the same treatment, but at the end of the day, you harvest good screen. This is what they call screen 18 when you go to, she understands better. And someone harvests screen 12, which is an inferior. Why? Because you planted a wrong variety. Probably you went under a coffee tree, or maybe in the bush, or under the coffee tree, actually. That's what I discourage most. And you pick those seedlings which are growing under the coffee tree.
Yes.
And then I always ask my farmers, if it was good coffee, do you think the farmer would have left it to fall down to reach the time of germination? No. So it means those were diseased, inferior coffee that the farmer
That's why they were left there.
Yes, that's why they were left there. So when you plant that coffee, the screen, the size of the beans you're going to get is going to be inferior. Coffee is not maize that you're going to put in a milling machine and you get flour. No. Coffee is graded. You sell the grade. You sell screen 18 a different price, screen 17 a different price, 15 a different price.
What happens to 12? Even 12.
Even 12 a different price. So the variety you plant can give you value. So that is value addition number one.
Okay.
So, and other things in there. Because coffee, you sell the size, the quality. Even at sorting, there is what we call gravimetric sorting. If you did not do weeding very well, someone weeded, someone watered, someone mulched. They put on a gravimetric table during the processing, value addition, they sort it. Yours does not weigh better, so they give you a less price. So you have lost value. The second phase in value addition, in coffee value addition, is aggregation. And this is where we encourage people to come together into cooperatives. When you are one farmer, you have 1 acre, that is 450 trees. Each tree is giving you 2 kilograms, that's 900,000. We count FAQ. So if you have 900,000, or let me say, if you have 10 bags of coffee, and someone has 1 bag of coffee, if you go to the buyer, or if you go to the processing factory, you will find, actually, they always put prices. Coffee, like currently, it is 13,000, a kilo of FHU, which we call cream. So you'll find the prices written there. If you come with 1 bag, no bargaining. You look at the chipande there. They multiply by your kilos, they pay you. If you are in the same station and someone comes with a fuso of the same coffee, exact value, much as the tag is there showing the price, they will not, this person, they will
give him
hold his hand, put him in, they will talk inside the office. They will not.
You won't see him there.
Now, that is the aggregation. It is is value addition. So if you one farmer with your 10 bags, one bag, you aggregate, and you also can make maybe 100 bags. You can bargain. That is value addition. In coffee, that's the, now that's the second. Now the third is this value, the real value addition, which people know, of processing. Now, when you come to coffee also, it has its dynamics. When you're processing, and that's why in Uganda we have inferior coffee products. You go to supermarkets, and that's why people even, I think it was affecting our domestic consumption. You find people could process that coffee which is too bad, the one which they cannot sell in terms of screens.
Yes.
And that's what people used to take to be coffee. But we've tried to regulate. Now you cannot process husks, you cannot process inferior beans and bring them to the market. At least we are there. So when that value addition is that when we tell the farmer, you know, coffee, you can sell coffee at any stage. You can sell coffee when it's a flower. You can sell coffee when it's green. You can sell coffee when it's on the tree and it's red. You can sell coffee when it's red, you have harvested. You can sell coffee when you've dried. You can sell it until when you have, you can
cup.
No, yes, the cup. Now the cup. Now we have gone ahead to sell it as a cosmetics, as in pharmaceuticals, because they make drugs out of it. You've seen like Ella Beauty, some beauty products out of coffee. So now it has gone beyond the cup, beyond the beverage. So there you add value, and that is what the government, through the agro-industrialization agenda, is focusing on. So that we have been exporting, I told you currently 90% of our coffee, we export it as green bean.
Yes.
So we say if we can roast it, grind it, package it, a kilo, which we are saying selling 13,000, you can probably shift to 25,000.
Yes.
And then if someone operates a cafe, how many spoons of coffee will he get from that pack? So that is value addition. So you'll find that he's selling at about 180,000 from 1 kilo. That is at a Ugandan perspective. If you are in America, it will go even up to maybe 800,000.
Yes.
So that is the value addition dynamics.
So
what everyone, from the farmer up to the industrial players, the exporters, or people who can add value, everyone has an opportunity, and everyone has an opportunity and a will to add value. Because we have seen that a farmer can add value by doing what he can do. If you can afford to buy a hala, you can hurry your coffee, sell it as FAQ. If you can take your coffee to a grading facility, you can grade it. Now you sell it in terms of grades.
Yes.
But if you can still go ahead after that, and maybe you can you can roast.
Yes.
You can sell roasted beans. That will be added value. And still you can go ahead and grind and sell. But again, when you come, in terms of value, why are we still exporting the 90%? Much as we have, because now we have roasters. We have about more than 20 roasters now in the country.
Yes.
We have grinders, people grind and package. But still it comes, how much value? If screen 18, an importer is offering me $5.6, like today. Actually, we also give indicative prices of coffee every morning.
Every morning.
So a coffee farmer cannot be cheated. You just go to our website, we share with you. So if they are offering $5 for screen 18, and then when I grind it here in Uganda and package it, I get maybe $4. And when I remove the money which I used in the processing and all that, I see that I'm not getting value. So that, yes. So it means I would be better off selling it as green 18.
Yeah.
So we know all those market dynamics, and we always support the value chain actors to ensure that they maximize. Because there are some people who do like who sell in auctioning, and he will say, for me, I'm offering this. And you see that even if you do roasting, package, do what and do what, you cannot get it. But the good thing is that as you add value, you create more jobs.
Yes.
Now we shift from the 12 million Ugandans, you can increase. You find that coffee is employing now maybe 18. So that's why the government is interested. Yes, is pushing.
For value addition, yes.
For value addition. And when you come, we really support you through the journey. When you say, you see, now I have my capital, I want to do value addition. We get an officer, attach him to you.
Yeah.
It takes you through the process to avoid maybe bureaucracy and fears, because some people will say, how do I reach their certification? So we give you an officer. He takes you through the journey until we see you there.
Amazing.
Yes.
Wow. I think we have all gotten a better understanding of this process. And like you said, value addition does contribute to national transformation. Yes, it allows you to create more jobs and things like those. So if you're someone that has the country at heart, value addition should be something that is at the center of what you are doing. So Shakira, we know that I have heard and I've experienced that you're into a bit of value addition, if not a lot of it. Can you just share your journey? How did you get into it? Was it a frustration? Was it education from the ministry? How did you get into value addition, and what have you done, really? What have you done as Mugamba in this area?
I'll start by saying value addition is an eye kind of opener in terms of, and I think it's not only for coffee.
Yeah.
It cuts across, most especially for agricultural, in agriculture, I would say. How we started the journey with value addition, first and foremost, we were doing our best in terms of planting the crop.
Yes.
And then suddenly we did not know much about how to manage. So we did a lot of work, as I already mentioned, that we started by getting free seedlings with this big chunk of land, planted coffee, over 100,000 seedlings that we were lucky that our government really offered us that support.
Yes.
Because I don't know how we would have managed. The other story of Robusta was,
Bad one.
it was a bad one, but it was covered with this good story
This-
of
yes.
free seedlings. So it started with planting the coffee, as Ruben already mentioned, planting the good seedling. We made mistakes. So 2019, with our Arabica, we see red cherries all over. What you call like red cherries.
Yes.
With our few, we did not plant like a full, maybe 320 acres.
Yes.
But we started with a small, we had we had bananas then.
Yes.
Then we intercropped with our bananas. In 2019, we see red cherries all over. Then we started moving around, running around, going to offices in your CDA. Guys, we are seeing all over red cherries. So we moved to one of the people around us, the exporters who are into coffee.
Yes.
So we tell them, guys, our farm, we have lots of coffee.
Yes.
And we're like, oh, we're going to make money. We have quite a number of, red cherries all over.
A place is red.
So we didn't even know how to pick the cherry. We didn't have pickers. Somewhere our farmers around do not know much about the coffee. So we told these guys, bring even the pickers. We are willing to give you coffee, bring your pickers. And these people were very, very excited. But they were excited. At the end of the day, we did not know that the price they were giving us was not nice.
Was not the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the prices were really low. So we harvest tons and tons of red cherry. The pickers came. They even offered to come and pick the coffee. We did not pay the pickers. We were really excited. So they pick all the tons. Then we're like, okay, guys, so how much are you giving us? Then, oh my God, I think it was like 1,000 per kg of red cherry.
Wow.
And imagine that was the highest. Yeah, that was the highest in terms of not anyone was giving it that price. So because of how we pick, how the cherries picked, the value of it, so that was the highest. Then the money they gave us, we're like, no, it was really discouraging. Yeah.
Yes, for everything
So
you had done.
yeah, for over 2 years, we have waited for this coffee. So we said no, let's try and dry our coffee. We put up what we call the African beds, our own African beds. The good thing we had our eucalyptus trees. So we started drying our coffee, with the cherry itself.
Yeah.
So we got some money, put up some solar dryers. We're like, yeah, let's try. Fort Portal is very, very cold with a lot of rains. We struggled with our drying. We said, no, let's try. let's do this and see what comes out. So we got our chiboko, very good chiboko, what we call the dried cherry. And yeah, I moved with some to Kampala.
Okay.
Yeah. Said, let's see how this coffee even tastes. So we moved to one of the roasters, one of our biggest roasters in Churad, Kabanyoro. Told them, guys, we have some good coffee. Want to see what comes out. Of course, after hulling it with a green, and the coffee was amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
So we started with ourselves, tasting the coffee, and I had never tasted any good coffee in my whole life as good as that was from the farm.
Yes.
So what I did was I did some packages. I said, okay, now that I'm enjoying the coffee, let me try my friends. I packaged a few packs. I told my friends, guys, I'm giving you coffee. I want you to give me feedback. And the feedback was amazing.
Yes.
So we started by that red cherry that we got 1,000, realized that if we dried it, okay, there are many processes in between there that are very, very, okay, as he mentioned, that coffee is it's a dynamic crop.
Yes.
So there are many things that happen there. So we dried it. Compared to the quality of our coffee and what
they were giving you.
Yes.
Yes.
So we said we have to compete. Let's start with our Ugandans to compete and give them the best coffees as well and see their feedback. And when we calculated a kilo of coffee, they give you maybe 1,000 out of the cherry.
Yes.
Then they say you get 6 kilos to get 1 kg of the green coffee. So when you roast it, of course, coffee reduces by maybe 20%. But when you add value out of that 1 kilo, you can make close to 50,000.
Yeah.
So that's how the journey started. And people, our Ugandans have loved our coffee. We still have our challenges of course, Ugandans don't drink coffee. There are many stories. But I would say Ugandans love coffee.
Yes.
It's only that they're not given the right coffee. But Ugandans drink coffee because we import a lot of coffee.
Yes.
We import a lot of coffee, and I always ask this question: who takes that coffee that is imported?
It's true.
Definitely, it's
human beings.
us Ugandans.
Yes.
So that is how our story began, and now we have a brand, at least in some supermarkets, called Mugamba Organic Coffee. People love it. We have very many clients. Some tourists come and hoard the whole coffee, because what I would say is, not many Ugandans are into what they call specialty coffees.
Yes.
So our coffee is a specialty coffee, and it scores highly in the cup. So that is why people enjoy it. It's because of the handling, because of the processes we take it through. We care about our clients, so that people who take our coffee will always come back to take more. Yeah,
it's true. Yes, and for those of you that do not know, Mugamba Coffee was an award-winning coffee at some point. Yes, at some, I don't remember.
It won.
Yes, they did win. Yes,
it won what they call the Best of the Pearl.
Yes,
in 2023.
Yeah,
it has won one of. I think also we won an AVPA award. That is coffees roasted at the origin. These coffees are taken to France, and they are cupped.
Yes.
So we're able to win that.
Yeah.
We have also won as the best farm in the Rwenzori region.
Wow.
So we still hold that.
Yes.
That award.
Wow, amazing. So if Mugamba Farm is approved in Paris, who are you? Are you local Ugandan who doesn't want to drink coffee? But yes, you do mention something interesting, and I would like Ruben to comment about it when she talks about a lot of coffee is imported and it's going all around. Someone is drinking it. What do you think measures can be put in place to ensure that people really, we get to enjoy our coffee as opposed to, importing? Are there tariffs? We see Trump is trying to protect, the American consumer and the trader there and the businessman. Is there anything that we are doing that we can do to just ensure that people like Mugamba or this new entrepreneur that's getting into coffee can just get the most as well as contribute to the nation, really, ultimately?
Thank you so much. Yes, we admit that there are imports of coffee coming, especially value-added coffee.
Yes.
And the biggest proportion is soluble coffees. I don't want to mention the brands here.
No, there's no need.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but this comes out of the tradition because we used to know coffee as a cash crop.
Yes.
People grow coffee, harvest, you take it to the Hara, you don't know
and go and buy
where it
tea.
goes. So we used to export all our coffees.
Yes.
And so when these people take our coffee, and actually most of the soluble coffees which come in are not the better type.
Yes.
Are not of the good quality.
Yeah.
So that's the coffee, maybe that is, I can say, categorized in the third grade. So they made it into soluble coffees and then they return it to us to drink. You will never see them taking our screen 18
and send you back a product that is from screen
back.
18.
Yes, but still, the dynamics of trade are like that. You cannot say we're going to put an embargo. What we do, we create an enabling environment, like the government is creating through various ministries. You have seen funding through Uganda Development Bank,
Yes.
and Uganda Development Corporation, signing with them to ensure that we support people who are adding value to coffee. You have seen government doing direct, direct investment. For example, there's a proposal to set up a soluble coffee plant. Then also create an enabling environment for people who are adding value up to the finished product.
Yes.
Yes, if someone is opening up a factory, we are actually inviting investors. Someone is setting up a unit to add value to roast and grind. That one is being supported.
Yes.
Across across the sectors. I think not only in coffee, but for coffee specifically, the government is very strong on that. And the policy now we are shifting to is that our target was to export at least 20% of Ugandan coffee when it is value added by 2025, which we are already in. But this will have to improve progressively, and we export about 50% by 2030. And we are seeing, as a government, we are moving towards that direction because so far, we see every year at least 2 or 3 roasteries are being added. These are large-scale roasteries. People used to go to take their coffee if they want to make soluble coffee to Bukoba in Tanzania. For them, they started making soluble coffees far earlier than us. But now, we see we are having about 3 now mega soluble coffee plants, by private investors coming up. And so we are really moving there, and we believe by 2030, we shall be able to export 50% of Ugandan coffee when it is value added.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you very, very much, Ruben. So if you're out there, 50 by 100, 225 trees, school fees. And you also mentioned something very interesting earlier, that people with more money drink coffee. Yeah, when people's incomes increase, they start drinking coffee. So if you want to let us know that your income has improved, we should see you having a cup of coffee. So thank you very much. So what I'm hearing is that there are opportunities in government, and there's, help that is available in case you want to get in. There is support if you're a coffee farmer or if you're just starting out. The help is available. Go to the nearest office at a sub-county level, and there's definitely someone that can support you. You've mentioned about supporting investors. There's funding. So basically, you're really providing an environment that allows one to thrive once they get into the coffee farming business, right?
Yes, and maybe for listeners who might, because she talked of the support, Robert, she got from UCDA.
Yes.
Maybe the confidence we can give to the country and the farmers and all coffee stakeholders is that much as the UCDA was merged, all the functions were transferred to the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. And there is a fully fledged department of coffee development where I actually come from.
Yes.
Formerly, I was from UCDA, and I'm one of the technical staffs who came into the ministry. So all this technical team is in place, and
Yes.
we are really open. We did not change the locations. We are still at Coffee House.
Okay.
And all other regional offices are staying in place, so people can come and get the services.
Yes.
And also to tell people who are entering into the coffee business that there is opportunity. And as I told you, the demand for coffee is increasing by average by 6%. So it means that even if we produce and support the 20 million bags, which are our target as a country by 2030, our coffee will definitely have a market.
Yes.
So let people produce coffee, but they make sure they do the good practices, they plant good varieties, they look after it very well, they don't harvest it when it is green. They should harvest mature red cherries. Then they dry it very well, so they ensure that they maintain quality. Because in coffee, it's quality that sells what you have.
Wow,
Thank
amazing.
you so much.
And so, like we always do on Business Garage, we never like to leave without giving you an opportunity to give your life to Christ. We have heard from Business Garage how we have been blessed, extremely blessed. But in order to walk in the fruitfulness of that blessing, you need to put your life right with the one that gave us the blessing. And that is the one thing that he desires the most. And that is to give your life to Jesus Christ so he can turn your life around, so that you can live a life for him, through him, and by him. A meaningful life. A meaningful life. A life of quality as well as quantity. And if you'd like to give your life to Christ, you can say this prayer with us today. Say, "Dear Lord, thank you for my life. Thank you that you love me. Thank you that you died for me. You died so that I could have life. And today, I ask you to forgive me for all my sin. Come into my life, be my Lord and Savior, and turn my life around. In Jesus' name, I have prayed and received. Amen." And if you just say that prayer, you are born again. We are excited, and in heaven, there is a party that is celebrating the decision that you just made. And would like to know, so do let us know on this number. +256 775 642 449. That is +256 for those of you that are not in the country, 775 642 449. There's a pastor at the end of that line that is ready to celebrate with you, help you make more sense of the prayer you just made, connect you to a loving church family so that you can continue on this amazing journey that you just started. And from all of us here at Business Garage, we love you and we're rooting for you, and we would like to invite you to join us for a garage service near you in our over 160 plus locations. There's definitely one near you. So do join us immediately this broadcast ends for our Sunday garage service. Until next time, from all of us at Business Garage, bye-bye.